I've always wanted to go hiking in the Himalayas, and 2 years ago, that dream came true. Unfortunately, I also suffer from chronic illness, which presents a unique set of challenges while travelling. With my best friend Sydney and her mum, and our guides Garap and Johan, we went to hike PK Peak. We hiked for 2 days before I got sick, and made it to 3 days before I was given the choice of turning around or calling an emergency helicopter to evacuate. So we turned around, and I eventually ended up in a hospital in India. But I'm not easily deterred, and I'm going to try again. This time I'm headed to Gosaikunda to hike the Lauribina Pass with Derek, which is actually a harder trial, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I've done some training, and I'm definitely better prepared this time, but more importantly, I have antibiotics. The Lauribina Pass is a high alpine passage that runs between the Langtang Valley and Gosaikunda territory. It starts in Dunche village and takes around 9 days to complete. In the center of Dunche village is the statue of Buddha, surrounded by prayer flags. The yellow flags represent the earth, and they stand for stability and fertility. Green, oddly, represents water, and stands for harmony and balance. Red represents fire, and is linked to energy and transformation. White represents air and wind, and is associated with purity, life, and compassion. And blue represents the sky, and symbolizes open minds. Buddhists like Garap believe that when the wind blows the flags, it scatters the prayers across the land. We walked very slowly to help us adjust to being at a higher altitude. Unfortunately, by this point, I was already sick and had only slept about 3 hours the night before. I started taking the antibiotics, but I still wasn't able to eat anything. Garap could see that I was struggling, so he pulled out a map and planned out an alternative, shorter route for the rest of the afternoon. We stopped to take a break at this place that had the cutest dog, and a cat. The guys ate some lunch, but I still couldn't face any food, so I just drank some tea.
So we were meant to carry on to Shingumba last night, but I'm not doing so well. I got food poisoning, and I'm struggling to adjust to the altitude. We stopped an hour short in a town that I can't remember the name of right now. The power line got taken out by a landslide fairly recently, so there's no power here. We're relying on our head torches and hoping our phones don't die. So we'll see how that goes.
In the morning, Garap had somehow prepared these mini prayer flags for our bags. The mantra on the flags is believed to protect against negative energy, and I think Garap was hoping it would help us feel better and support us on our way.
meant to get to Gosaikunda last night, but the altitude got too much, especially for me, a little bit for Derek. I was sitting at about 3,900, 4,000 meters right now, and I'm out of breath just sitting here. So we decided to stop in Upper Lauribina for the night, and we will we will get to Gosaikunda today, and then after that see how far we can get depending on our condition. The views are spectacular.
Having only eaten a couple of potatoes and a rice pancake in the last 3 days, we were taking regular breaks to make sure my condition didn't get too bad. On one stop, we saw these Himalayan tahr very gracefully skipping down the slope we were rather less delicately making our way up. We arrived in Gosaikunda just in time for lunch, and I managed to eat a little bit of dal bhat, and Derek was forcibly given mountains of rice. So I'm running on fumes and determination, but we made it to the highest point of the Lauribina Pass, 4,610 meters in altitude, which, considering I've lived my whole life at sea level, I'm quite proud of.
The lodge we were aiming for is closed for the night, so we're racing sunset to get to the next one. This is where we're going. The next lodge is in there somewhere.
We made it down to Pedi with just enough light to see by. We went straight to bed and woke up to a perfect sunrise, and the discovery that my appetite had finally returned. We strapped on our boots again, ready to descend further into the rolling clouds.